I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. All alone by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Verbo. Is this thing on?
Well, hello.
So this is a rare thing. We have a news story that is not in my news, and it's breaking news, in fact, that we'll cover tomorrow, but we'll give the gist of it today. Verbo, would you care to cackle madly for us first and turn up your mic just a little bit, please? She is laughing madly because earlier today, one of the jurors in the Karen Reed trial basically wrote a motion asking to extend the order to protect the identities of the jurors indefinitely based on finding out that Turtle Boy was in the courtroom and that Turtle Boy had made threats towards the jurors and had basically said that any juror who voted against clearing Karen Reed was some sort of idiot.
Mm-hmm.
The following ruling came through today. Let me just present it. I don't know if you can read it, but let's see which one is this. This is Jay-Z.
It is available over on Discord if you want to see the originals.
Yeah, because it's not going to come up. You won't be able to read that. Okay, I'll just read what the ruling is. Findings in order on Juror Doe's emergency motion to extend July 8th impoundment order. The matter came before the court on the emergency motion of Juror Doe to extend the July 8th, 2024 impoundment order entered by this court. Upon review of the motion and supporting documents, including the affidavit of Juror Doe, the court makes the following findings and order. 1. This case has garnered significant and divisive attention in Massachusetts and across the nation. 2. Individuals associated with this case have been charged with intimidation, with charges remain pending. Juror Doe, number 3, Juror Doe has submitted a detailed affidavit which I find credible. 4. Juror Doe is in reasonable fear for their safety and the safety of their family if the list of jurors is made available to the public. 5. Through their affidavit, Juror Doe has established the publication of the list identifying the names of the impaneled jurors will present a real and present risk of personal harm to jurors and the integrity of their service. 6. Through their affidavit, Juror Doe has established that there is a continuing risk of immediate and irreparable injury should the jury list be made available to the public at this time. 7. Through their affidavit, Juror Doe has established good cause to extend the impoundment order dated July 8, 2024, until and unless otherwise ordered by the court. 8. The order shall not preclude any juror from identifying himself or herself and or from speaking to the public about his or her jury service. So ordered, Beverly J. Cannoni. So what do you think about that?
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! The affidavit that the juror wrote was clear and concise and written by just a person, not a legal author, because some of the wording has been really scrutinized by both Aiden and DUI guy about this weird alternative verdict that they've decided was part of what happened, which is not. It was a mistrial. Very
Yes.
clearly a mistrial.
And what she's talking about is the juror said that they were unable to reach a conclusion on any of the charges. And that, I believe that's what it said. Am I wrong on that,
Yeah.
Verbo?
No, that's correct. It's, let's see, a verdict on all 3 counts of the indictment. So they're just a person writing. They're not a
And
legal author. This level of
this
scrutiny
is
is inappropriate.
This is counter to the narrative that Aiden, Turtleboy Kearney, and the DUI guy have been saying, along with Alan Jackson. In fact, a 5th one, juror supposedly came forward early today saying that, or at least it was in the motion early today, saying that it was a 12-0 vote on acquittal on the main charge and charge number 3, and that somehow on Monday, Judge Cannoni should throw out those 2 charges. So this juror counters that by saying there was no official verdict on anything. We couldn't come to one.
Well,
and as
yeah,
a
and I would
result
say
of
there's
this,
only.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'd say
No,
there
you go
is
ahead.
only one affidavit. There was one, and it's been filed with the court, and the court responded. There's mystery people that have gone and spoken to the defense, but I don't see any affidavits filed. I don't see. I see nothing. So when there is nothing presented to the court, there is no affidavits until they are presented and on the record.
Right. And hopefully they'll have those on Monday. Because remember, Monday
Perhaps.
is the hearing to determine the retrial. So hopefully there's something there. Otherwise, this is just bullshit they've been spreading in the paper like they always do. And
Well, we have
as
one
a
more
result,
business day.
Well, yeah.
We do have one more business day. They do have an opportunity to do it tomorrow before all hell breaks loose on Monday.
As a result of this, Turtle Boy is officially losing his shit on Twitter, which you can see over
Yes.
on my, somebody please put up the Discord link, over on my Discord
I did
in
a
the
little bit
Gia
ago.
Reads Mean Tweets area. Aiden and DUI Guy are losing their shit, and it's hilarious. So you don't have to go to Twitter, because I know Gia doesn't go to Twitter. That's why I named the area that. But go to my Discord, read up on it, because we'll have the rest of the story in the paper tomorrow morning. This for Aiden, when they're saying that Aiden is a clear and present danger, and he's coming with, oh no, it's the threat. It's the McNalberts making threats. It's not me. I never made no threats in my life. Oh, I didn't. I'm just a lovely turtle. Yeah.
When after the court has made the decision to indefinitely seal the juror list, Aiden went on Twitter and described a juror down to some of their health status.
Yes. What they did for a living.
What they, like identifying factors that anybody that was sitting in that court would know who that person is.
Yeah. I mean, for
Ridiculous.
God's sakes. Yeah, he's basically trying to get away with everything he can. I'm thinking this is going to come up at when he eventually does go to trial for the witness intimidation charges, because this is just another case of him trying to intimidate people. Oh yeah, and one update to another matter. 2 weeks ago, Aiden claimed that someone had lynched a turtle outside of his parents' house. There have been no arrests made or no suspects as of this time, because in most people's general opinion, Aiden fucking did it himself. Sorry for the French.
The Nutella conspiracy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, best of my knowledge, there's no investigation, there's been no questioning, no arrests, nothing.
Maybe they should search the house. Maybe they should search his house.
Right.
Yeah, search his parents' house for receipts. But we are now 11 minutes into the show, so we may as well go to our first article of the day. It's a long one.
Before you do that, I
Yes.
did post the Discord link, and there is an upside of using Jim's server to monitor some of these tweets. Is if they choose to delete the tweet, it is still archived in Jim's server, so you can go back in
Yes.
time and see stuff that they deleted.
Yes. Let's get on with the GoFundMe take, which gets kind of weird. I am warning you now, it gets weird.
Okay,
GoFundMe,
batten down the hatches.
DeCastro rebounds? Not so fast. Putting a string of victories together, Jose Chile DeCastro again took the GoFundMe title for Wednesday, pulling in $430 in donations from 3 donors for the day and beating out our own ongoing expenses fund and Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova's fund by a large margin. Wait a minute. Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova had a donation? After a month stuck at $570, he's jumped to $600? Well, weed my whacker and shave my nose hairs. He did. A single $30 donation came in a little after we went live with yesterday's article showing that he has no play in almost a month, and we're going to take credit for this one, even if it isn't true. There's no other reason for this fund to get any play except for the word of mouth we brought to it yesterday. Cordova put out a new video. Yes, he did. Yesterday, it was a rehash of the time he got arrested because he was hanging out with the cool kids, aka Christopher Direct D. Ruff and Freedom Jim, and they drove by a police officer and flashed a high-powered flashlight in the guy's face. Direct D did the actual act, but Cordova sauntered up and took the fall for it because his buddy Direct D had a warrant out of Arizona, and you can't let the cool kid go to jail, right? I mean, if you don't take the fall and get the mark on your permanent record, the cool kid might not let you pay for his lunch and pay attention to you as he's sticking your head in the toilet tomorrow. Picture the scene of Direct D holding DMA's head in the toilet while telling him that he was going to honor DMA by taking out his sister and his mother on a double date and make whoopee to them in the most uncomfortable spot possible. Yes, like in the back of a Volkswagen. We're not sure if DMA actually has a sister, but he has access to women's clothing and can make the fantasy happen for donations. Allegedly. Regarding fantasies, we do mix into real and not real when being funny in our intro and outro sections of this daily newscast. Yesterday, one of the 2 statements made by our #1 fan, Tom, was not real. At no point did we witness him say that our mother had a better voice when she moaned at him the night before. He said a lot of wonderful comments towards us in the past, but never that. It's not that we don't think he'd ever take our mother out on a nice candlelit dinner, a walk in the park, and a wonderful time listening to the Republican National Convention. It's just we think he's in a committed relationship, and we don't want to get in between him and his hoovering, if you know what I mean. So sorry, Tom. Hope all is well in Tommyland. Getting back to the real world, the real world. No one actually has the money these days to keep up with the big dollar donations to a campaign every day. DeCastro has seen a number of them come in to give him top dollars for the day in the race for the title, but they're not sustainable. They're good to see on the bottom line, that's for sure, and we wouldn't turn down a donation that was made like that. But look at it in another way. He had 3 donations for the day, 2 small values and 1 big value. That means 3 people actually took the time to throw money at him. A channel with 592,000 for real y'all subscribers took in $433 from 3 donations. Not a bunch of donations to make up that $430 to show there's interest in supporting him from everyone on his platform. 3 donations and 1 big money donor. It's a sign that things are in decline. Backing this, we missed his latest live, about to watch it at 5 a.m., so we have no idea of observed live views, but his totals are down with 72 comments, 757 likes, and a total of 7,844 views 12 hours after his live aired. DeCastro had no real competition. He had the time slot to himself. It's about half the viewers that his last 2 lives got, not even 1/6 the views his return got, and 163,200 less views than than Michael Ehline's own last stream on DeCastro's channel. There's something wrong here. The money should be flowing in like water through steerage glass on the Titanic. It's not, and that should be scaring the hell out of Chili DeCastro right now. If you'd like to join our daily hate watcher in scaring the hell out of us while forcing us to write this column every day, we do have a GoFundMe. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on reallycoolsite.org. I thought you'd at least laugh at the back of the Volkswagen.
Right? Yeah, it was gross. I am Team Puck, though, so...
Well, back of the Volkswagen is Kevin Smith. Mallrats.
Oh! I forgot.
Mallrats. Mallrats.
It always goes back to Mallrats with you. I need to rewatch it because everything always goes back to Mallrats. There is not a day where you don't bring this movie up.
Mallrats is my favorite thing on earth after Stripes. That's right.
Yep.
Stripes.
Yep.
When I saw that commercial and Bill Murray said, "That's the fact, Jack," it snapped my brain. And I became like this. That's it. That's it. It was Mallrats.
There is no recovery.
It was Stripes. Yes, no recovery. Yes. Yep. And I know that Rose has not seen Stripes yet, but that's one thing we have to do.
Rose hasn't seen any movie ever. She's never going to get any of the references. Please leave that poor girl alone.
But we're going to have movie nights where we're going to eat that sausage pizza that Gia has been recommending over on Gia's food area in my server. So
nice. Okay, pizza. All right. A nice little date night where you both eat sausage pizza and watch a movie is fine, but you gotta lay off the poor girl. She's never gonna get the references. It's just she's a strawberry flavored Care Bear. Leave her alone.
She'll get him. Eventually. And I won't make her watch the extended version of Mallrats because that one sucks. But still.
No, that's just rude.
Yes, that one did not need the extended version.
You could introduce her to the Newhart show.
Sean Paul, Long Island Audit Riaz's Tuesday night live stream featured his protest of a ruling in his Schenectady, New York criminal case on Tuesday, where he is on trial for trespass. Now, this one, I tried to avoid saying Schenectady as much as possible, even though it's in the article like 70 times. Because I kept going, Schenectady. So,
I only know about it because it was in Archer, in an episode of Archer. Okay. Otherwise, I would never know how to pronounce that.
Well, an ex-girlfriend sent me a movie. The only movie she ever sent me was a movie called Schenectady, New York. And I never watched it. So I'm good. I'm glad she's not a viewer because I never watched it. Passing at the City Hall. The video had 209,000 views out of Riaz's 778,000 subscribers, representing 27% of his subscriber base, 15,000 likes, and 2,200 comments since airing on Tuesday. It saw Riaz react to Judge Taniki Frost's ruling against his motion to dismiss the case in which Riaz was arrested for violating Mayor Gary McCarthy's executive order prohibiting filming within the City Hall without permission from all of those who were filmed. Riaz was arrested in April on a live stream entitled "I Was Unlawfully Arrested for Investigating a Tyrannical Mayor" before an arrest even happened. During the video, Riaz walked through the City Hall, openly filming, and was denied an immediate meeting with Mayor McCarthy. The arrest happened when Riaz approached the security guard, who told him filming was not allowed within the City Hall. Riaz protested, and when Riaz refused to stop filming, he offered no resistance to the arrest and was later released without incident. Riaz used the livestream to display features of the Attorney's Shield paid application that he works for. The application prevented his phone from turning off during the arrest and continued to film, even after being separated from Riaz and being transported to a local police station. In Riaz's motion, he claimed that the mayor lacked the power to make an executive order, as he was assuming the powers of the legislature. He also contested that the city of Schenectady failed to clearly state what led to his arrest for charges of trespassing. He also claimed that being trespassed for filming police violated New York's right to record law, which gives citizens the right to record when police officers are on duty. Since 2 police officers are assigned to the city hall, he argued he had every right to film them as they were on duty. Riaz would later state that he was unaware of the executive order and presumed that he had the right to film in City Hall, despite indicating in the title of the livestream from April that he would be arrested before any arrest happened. Riaz now claims that he had no intention or knowledge of anything that would lead to an arrest in the actions from that day. The prosecution replied that Riaz needed to take up the legality of the order with the city attorney. Riaz countered that the city attorney likely wrote the order and wouldn't listen to him. Judge Tanika E. Frost sided with the prosecution and told Riaz to contact the city attorney. Judge Frost also denied Riaz's motion to dismiss, indicating that the police and the prosecution do not have to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt to bring charges against someone. As long as they gave defendant Riaz a basis for a defense and an idea of what he was being charged with, they were fine. Riaz spent the next 10 minutes of the 27-minute live stream rallying against the judge and her order, demanding justice for the denial of his motion. He also provided advertising time to Attorney Shield and his Cameo service on the YouTube page for the investigation. The trial for these charges will be held on August 27, 2024. Okay, yeah. The next person I know who has a birthday and deserves it, I'm going to pay for LIA to give them a cameo.
Nice. You can't afford a billboard time, can you? Just a cameo?
No, I can't.
All right. I'm actually kind of interested in their little application there. Like, does the phone just run until it runs out of battery? Like, what happens if the law enforcement puts it into a bag, right? Like
it still runs because Frauditor Troll actually paid for the body cam video, or one of his associates paid for the video and he played it. And as they were driving LIA to jail, they were getting a report that LIA was still streaming, because the phone was on in the trunk, still streaming.
Okay, so as long as the phone can still transmit, he can still get the live feed back. But let's say they put it in a Faraday cage bag, it would continue to record, it just wouldn't transmit at that time, and it would just record until the phone dies. That's interesting. That's interesting.
And that's supposed to be in your protection in case the cop knocks the phone out of your hands or whatever and tries to kill you. It keeps recording.
You know, most of them are just worthless, but I don't always agree with what they're doing with the app. But you know what? They have produced a functional app that does what they like and seems to work. That's an accomplishment. That's interesting. I think the features of this app should be looked into.
Oh my God, Hank, that is a glorious idea. We have to get Chili's number. And have
I know
LIA...
another September 11th. Yeah.
No.
There's a couple September 11th birthdays.
Well, I know about 5 of them, but still, we need to send Chili a special birthday greeting from LIA on his birthday. That's a wonderful idea, Hank.
You could always have him just say Jose, so it's a little bit more generic, you know?
Or I think they're delivered to your email account and not your. I don't know how it works. I think they send the video to your email. So
right. Well, you could always receive it and just forward it on to Chili, but just have LIA say it to Jose, so LIA doesn't refuse it. You know what I mean? So
yes.
It's more general. Could be anybody.
But yeah, that's a great idea. Well, I'll have to talk. I'll see if Colin has one of Chili's private emails, maybe. So it's
Mm.
unrecognizable and just have it sent to. Oh, that would be evil. That's evil. Speaking of evil,
Apparently,
hey!
yeah,
Yes, you're.
I,
Yes, you're apparently
I'm an
evil.
evil wheat. Yeah, was it the
And
cackle? I'm not sure where that's coming from.
And Rose tore out of here because Gia said that the frozen pizza she posted was the correct nummy frozen pizza, I guess. So I'm sorry,
She is
Rose, but
motivated by.
it's sausage pizza. I will always eat sausage pizza. Say what you want, Hank, about Jim eating the sausage. It's sausage pizza.
Big fan of fennel.
No. Appears on Michael Ehline's live stream. Jose Chile DeCastro appeared on Michael Ehline's broadcast on Tuesday night to do a rare interview with an outside channel that shed some light on what he's going through since being released from the Clark County, Nevada Detention Center. DeCastro, appearing from an office space in front of a wall that was entirely green screened, was candid in admitting that he took the first 24 hours out of the jail to himself, spending time with family and not looking at his phone. He claimed to be catching up on his sleep for the past few days instead of focusing on the mission, and thanked Ehline for being the lightning to his thunder in the movement. He further said that despite Ehline's higher viewing numbers on DeCastro's own channel, that there was no jealousy, just relief for the work Ehline had done. Michael Ehline and Brian Here's the Deal Young took over hosting DeCastro's channels while the YouTuber was incarcerated, with Ehline somehow eclipsing viewer totals that DeCastro has put up over the past year on his own channel. DeCastro's physical decline was on display as the YouTuber claimed that he put on 20 pounds from being in jail, and he was going to take before and after photos, which he'd display only after he lost the weight. He also claimed that his thumb was damaged and would need to be fixed, allegedly from the pressure put on his ulnar nerve in his arrest last year by Officer Jesse Sandoval of the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, who was restraining DeCastro in the arrest. Addressing his finances, DeCastro admitted that he was still on the hook for Garrett Press with Rancor Van Net's legal bills, as he signed a contract for it. He claimed that he had only made a third of the payments towards the overall bill, and had to honor the commitment because he signed his name to it. DeCastro also stated that he was thinking of traveling to Michigan for Van Net's trial at the end of July. In his own legal fees, he has hired Josh Tomczyk for his upcoming criminal case for obstructing an officer in Las Vegas. DeCastro said that he gave Tomczyk $15,000 out of a total of $25,000 in fees and warned his viewers not to skimp on legal representation. Despite his feelings of inadequacy in his bloated body, he launched into an attack on Justice of the Peace Ann Zimmerman, calling her Crooked Jaw for her old crooked jaw, and claiming that everyone in the jail knew her by that moniker, but then claimed he forgave the unprincipled and nasty judge and let his anger go. As Zimmerman is not running for re-election, Ehline's co-host, BZ Watchdog, suggested DeCastro file a judicial complaint against her, which DeCastro admitted that his team was doing right now and that someone named Thompson was writing the brief. Ehline suggested a civil rights attorney named Alan Beck, who DeCastro should talk to about taking his case in Nevada via pro hoc vice status, which would allow him to practice in the state without being licensed in the
Pro hoc
state.
vice.
That would require a local attorney to allow the use of his local license for that. I almost pronounced it in Klingon. You're lucky you got what you got. So
Pro hoc vice. Pro hoc vice.
it sounds like
We need to just
yes.
pre-record all the Latin sayings and you just splice them in.
No, I'll just have your voice come up and say
Pro
it, you know?
hoc vice. Pro hoc vice.
Or it's like Dora the Explorer. Can you say pro hoc vice? I knew you could.
Can you say pro hoc vice?
that to happen. When BZ Watchdog brought up the case of associate Texas Gurl, who is facing charges, DeCastro suggested gathering everyone from the movement to march on the town in order to show support for her. DeCastro has pledged that he would do interviews on his supporters' channels where they could ask him 10 questions about jail, which he would answer on the air. The first of the suggested interviews has not been scheduled as of press time. So he seemed kind of pissed off that he still has to pay the $48,000 for Press with Rancor.
But isn't that what all these Sob City kind of guys talk about? We didn't contract with you. He signed his name to something. He made a promissory note. He signed his name. He made a contract. It was a private citizen to I don't know, provider
Lawyer.
of services person, right? Like, he made the contract that all of these stupid jerk faces go on and on about, and now he's like, oh, shucks, I gotta honor my contracts. Oh, man. What?
And he
What?
Yeah, he did the same thing to Wanda Meese, but I don't think he signed the final paperwork before he went to jail. So I don't think he's on the hook for that one. But yeah, he was riding so high because he was making so much money off of these fundraisers that, I mean, he was making bank. And yeah, right now I don't think he's making shit. I honestly don't. He wasn't. He's giving away more trifolds and 5A cop cards than he's selling, and it's just stupid. His entire 400 people who come to his lives all have that damn, or had the opportunity to have the trifold and declined to have one. No one's buying these things.
Well, he oversaturated the market. The market. What the people that he couldn't sell one to, he gave one to for free, which is fine. I like, charitable and, being a philanthropist on top of being a capitalist and stuff. I like those things. I don't think they're mutually exclusive from one another. But when you oversaturate your market, each one of your broadcasts just becomes like an infomercial, and who you can't sell them to, you send to for free, and then you complain that you have to spend your time processing the free orders. Like, what?
Right.
Where is the rest of his market? There isn't anymore. He needs to go on to his next whatever garbage product he's going to be pushing, like his game, which I guarantee he's not even close to doing anything with that. Guarantee.
Oh, well, like he admitted he was coming out with piss and vinegar about the he was going to sue. He's going to sue immediately. He's going to sue and for the $100,000. He hasn't even talked to a lawyer yet about suing the state or suing anybody for his for the wrongful incarceration. I mean, then again, he hasn't made any of the money to afford such an attorney.
No. And he's so far in debt with his own legal fees, stuff he's promised everybody else, this contract he's made for what's his face? What is that? $48,000? Press with Rancor, right?
He made 3 payments on it before he went to jail, so he paid $18,000.
Wow, that's a lot left.
Yeah, you still have 30 grand left, basically. Yeah,
that's like a brand new car. Chili has promised out money he doesn't have. He has no way of making for a brand new car, which effectively he's like functionally homeless all the time, and he's always on the edge of losing his vehicle as well, or it's stolen or whatever. So he promised out the price of a brand new car that he could have got the right kind of vehicle that he could live in, and even though he has total housing instability, he would still be able to live in his paid off car.
Just to answer Dax, the Blue Bacon case is still going on. There's a hearing at the end of the month.
And he's like 4,500 and like 1,600, 1,200, 1,600, like something like that, in debt to Blue Bacon already.
And we've got one last news story. It's short, but it's controversial for the two people it features, but it was the only real news story from last year at this time. Please forgive the mention of both names on our air. I don't like it,
Ugh.
but we did need to fill time today. And we've promised a flashback every day. So if you want to leave early, you can, because all that's left is this story and our closing credits and our wrap-up. So just warning you in advance as we go to July 18th, 2023. Wrangler admits criminal past, asks for forgiveness. Michael Fraud at Wrangler Kaiser went live on Monday to address claims made by host Dan of the Welsh News Network about his criminal past. Kaiser admitted that he had previously been convicted of multiple felony charges in the state of Alabama. Those charges include a felony conviction in 2012 for second-degree receiving stolen property, 2 2012 felony convictions for second-degree theft of property, and a 2016 felony conviction for third-degree burglary. The YouTuber also admitted that he was currently facing an ongoing case from 2022 in which Kaiser has been charged with multiple felony charges including fraudulent use of a credit card, third-degree theft of property, and burglary in the third degree. While admitting guilt, including guilt for his ongoing criminal case, Kaiser blamed drug addiction for his actions. His most recent conviction was due to obtaining prescription medication from the Veterans Administration during the outbreak that led to his decision to steal credit cards from his work to obtain drugs. Kaiser stated that he was guilty of everything in Dan's reporting except for stolen valor and murder charges. While Kaiser may have heard the accusations from other sources, host Dan mentioned the murder charges and that they were dropped and made no accusations of stolen valor during his reporting. The YouTuber thanked his fans for their support and pledged that he would be undeterred in his mission as he moved forward with his YouTube career, pending the result of the outstanding felony cases. Okay, that was a quickie, and it's in and out. And yes, WNN is dead. If someone wants to write an expose on it, they can. But I've said what I've had to say on it multiple times on the air and in the paper. So,
a couple people have talked about doing an expose. They've poked around. They've collected receipts. Whether or not they want to continue forward with the things that they've talked about, that's up to them.
Yeah, and seeing that as one of the participants, I'm not going to expose anything more than what I know about. I can't talk for the other people involved. I can only talk to myself. And I said my statement on, if you don't want to read the paper, you don't want to read or go back to our footage here, I made an appearance on Irish Demon Show and said what I've got to say. I mean, we're moving forward. We're something different now. We had nothing to do with whatever he was doing, and let him provide those answers because he didn't provide them to us. And I can't comment on stuff I don't know about.
Yeah, I quit because I couldn't get the right answers out of him. And they started getting weird. So there's a lot of it I don't know what he did because I wasn't there anymore. But what I did know,
his opportunity.
I've handed off. I've handed off a lot of what I did know. So I don't know what they're going to do with that information. And I think it would be interesting to see some sort of time frame or collaborative or whatever. But I haven't seen any movement lately. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is really.
He's not talking, and he's the only one who has any answers. And that's really all we have to say about it. We're going to get out of here, folks. Remember, we're back same time tomorrow. Panel shows will return on Monday officially, as I got nothing done with the big project today so far, and I'm about to go write the Turtle Boy story. So, yay. Hopefully I find 3 stories before I go to bed, so I don't have to write anything but the one demented story that I write every morning. You know who you are out there. You know you're torturing me by making sure that there's no goose eggs. And, dear God, goose eggs. All I see is goose eggs.
1, 2, 3 goose eggs.
Oh, good Lord. Let's go into...